Based on the New York State Notary Public Law, which of the following statements are accurate? Let's have a look at Statement 1. Statement 1 states, a notary public who practices fraud or deceit in the performance of their duties is guilty of a misdemeanor. Let's have a look at Section 135-A, found in the Notary Public License Law booklet, entitled Notary Public or Commissioner of Deeds, Acting Without Appointment, Fraud in Office. And we could jump to subsection 2, which states, a notary public or commissioner of deeds who in the exercise of the powers or in the performance of the duties of such office shall practice any fraud or deceit, the punishment for which is not otherwise provided for by this act, shall be guilty of a misdemeanor. So indeed, Statement 1 is accurate, and we could put a check mark next to it so we can remember that. Statement 2 states, a notary public who issues a false certificate with intent to defraud is guilty of a Class D felony. Now, is this accurate? Let's have a look at Section 175.40 from the Notary Public License Law booklet, entitled Issuing a False Certificate. And if we jump to the bottom, it states that issuing a false certificate is a Class E felony. Because this statement states Class D felony, that is inaccurate, and we can put an X next to it. Statement 3 states, a notary public who charges more than the statutory fee for an oath is liable to civil suit for treble damages. If we go to Section 67, found in the Notary Public License Law booklet, entitled Fees of Public Officers, the first 3 paragraphs talk about the fees that notaries public can charge. And if we jump to Section 4, it states that an officer or other person who violates either of the provisions contained in this section is liable, in addition to the punishment prescribed by law for the criminal offense, to an action in behalf of the person aggrieved in which the plaintiff is entitled to treble damages. Therefore, indeed, Statement 3 is accurate, and we can put a check mark next to it. And finally, Statement 4 states, a person who executes any functions of a public office without having taken and filed a required oath is guilty of a misdemeanor. If we have a look at the Public Officers Law found in the Notary Public License Law booklet, it states that a notary must not act before taking and filing an oath of office. The Public Officers Law provides that a person who executes any of the functions of a public office without having taken and duly filed the required oath of office as prescribed by law is guilty of a misdemeanor. A notary public is a public officer. So indeed, Statement 4 is also accurate, and we can put a check mark next to it. So with all this in mind, let's have a look at the 4 choices to determine the solution. Choice A states Statements 1, 3, and 4 only are accurate. Now this is the correct solution based on what I put check marks next to above, but to be in the habit of looking at all 4 choices, let's have a look at choices B, C, and D. Choice B states Statement 1 and 4 only. This is incorrect because Statement 3 is also accurate, therefore choice B is not our solution. Choice C states Statements 2, 3, and 4 only. This is incorrect because 2 is actually inaccurate and 1 is accurate, therefore choice C is not our solution. And finally, choice D states all of the above, Statements 1, 2, 3, and 4, are accurate. Now this is incorrect because Statement 2 is actually not accurate, therefore choice D is not our solution either, which indeed leaves choice A, Statements 1, 3, and 4 only, as the correct solution.